Cancer.
Facts. Ditto. That's the soundbite.
Deadass.
And the horse it rode in on.
1, 2, 3.
It all started with real talk, unfiltered, honest, and straight from the heart. Since then, we've gone on to become Webby Award-winning podcasters and New York Times best-selling authors.
Deadass was more than a podcast for us. It was about our growth. A place where we could be vulnerable, be raw.
Pause. But most importantly, be us.
But as we know, life keeps evolving, and so do we. And through it all, one thing has never changed.
This is Ellis Ever After. Deadass.
Because we got a lot to talk about.
Story time. So I'm going to take y'all through, this is the first time I'm going to do time jumps in the story.
Okay.
And we're going to start with September 2025. September 2025, y'all heard this story. Me and Kay down here with the podcast crew. Pops has a stroke. Got to fix that. I'm like, yo, I got this. You know what I'm saying? I studied exercise physiology. All we got to do is move the body, get them back. I used to work with stroke patients all the time. I said, Pops, let's go out, get in the sun. Let's move around. All September, me and Pops moving around. He getting better. October come up. Heart failure. I'm like, okay, we can get through this. I studied exercise physiology. I know what to do. We can go outside in the sun. We can get some movement, get his heart moving again, get the circulation. We doing all this October, right? November comes up. Cancer. Well, can't work out through that.
Bruh.
Gotta actually go to the doctor and get some shit done. Them 3 months, finding out all that information about your dad. I'm gonna say something for the first time in front of everybody that I never said in front of you. I thought Pops was gonna die.
When I woke up, Kaz was right here. I bet you I know where he is. Some boy greedy. It's quiet in here, too quiet. I bet you he's eating. He's either in the pantry or he's on the counter. Kaz. What you doing over here? What you doing?
Apple.
You eating? That's an orange, it's not an apple. He knows how to peel them by himself. So your boy carried the step stool over here, climbed up, and is peeling his own orange. Is it good? Can I have some? Thank you. Greedy.
Karaoke time.
Yes.
So, my father, when he was on the tail end of things and finished the treatments. I hate to say his treatment and his diagnosis because I never claimed that over his life. It was just a diagnosis and treatments because I feel like when you put the possession on things, sometimes it makes it feel like it's yours.
His
And
to
I
carry.
felt like it's, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, it's not. When he finished the treatments associated with his diagnosis, he said to me, when I said, Dad, I'm like, yo, you're looking like, 1% better every day. Like, how are you feeling? And he said to me, you can't keep a good man down.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
So when he said that, I was just like, bop, bop, bop. Because, of course, I heard the tune in my head, right? You know where I'm going with this. You can't keep a good man down. Always keep a smile when they want me to frown. Keep my vibes and you stood my ground. They can never, ever take my crown. Solid as a rock. They just can't stop you now. He ain't never scared.
You just can't stop me now.
No, we ain't never.
I ain't never scared. That was my college football,
Bruh.
man. Will you come out to that?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pops, bro.
Yeah, man. That song could be.
And Bone Crusher.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
It could totally be an anthem for so
Son.
many things. But when he said that to me, I was like, bro, you were absolutely right. You were absolutely right. And man, did my father ever prove anything to me in life? This was the time where I was like, wow.
To you, all of us.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We'll be back.
They kids will be doing anything. Running around. Man, you mess up your face.
They just running around. Like, what are you nervous about? That's all mothers. Your nana, what Mimi be saying?
You break your neck. And the nanas is, we don't do hospitals. We don't do hospitals.
That's a fact, man. Mimi gonna tell you mine, you break your neck, and my mother gonna tell you she don't do hospitals. So she wants you to sit down, go read a book. It's not, there's no risk of injury, depending on what you read. Because some of this stuff can injure your brain. Let me take it back to story time. I said something at the very end of story time that I know you've never heard me say, but I thought Pops was gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why, just me being honest, is because remember in 2011, I started working at Parisi Speed School. Shout out to Kenny Munson and Gary Miller. Kenny Munson was the owner of the Parisi Speed School, and Gary Miller was the program director. And at the time, they were also trying to find ways to bridge the gap between finances and sports performance.
Mm-hmm.
So during the day, there was a old person's home that was further down in Staten Island, but they needed rehab. And all of us had to take exercise physiology and kinesiology classes, take our NASM to make sure that we were good with sports medicine. A lot of those elderly people needed to go to rehab after they had strokes. So they was like, hey, how about you bring them here in the middle of the day? There's no students, no kids here. You know, we can have our trainers work with them.
Mm-hmm.
So for about 2 months, I was working with a lot of stroke survivors, people who had just needed to get their motor functions back. And during that time, the biggest thing that I noticed is the people who got back were the people who wanted to get back.
The mentality.
The mentality. As soon as they got here, I'll never forget this one lady, Myrtle. I told you a story about Myrtle. older Italian woman, right? She comes in and she has the walker.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, hey, my name's Myrtle, whatever. And I said to her, Myrtle, in 2 weeks, you ain't gonna need that walker. And Myrtle's old ass said to me, I don't need this bitch now. And threw it. And I said, that's the type of mentality you have to have in order to come back from a stroke, because you have to believe it. I started believing Dad was going to be okay when I started watching him get up on his own, like during chemo and stuff, and going to get on his little foot bike. And he had his bands, and he was stretching his bands out every day on his own. Like, I didn't have to come in here and to say nothing.
Right.
That's when I said, oh, he wants to be here. He don't want his grandkids to see him like that.
Right.
He don't want his daughters and his son to see him like that. Pop's going to be all right. And when I think about it now, those 7 weeks, there was never a moment where we had to say, come on, Pops, let's go to treatment. He was always ready and the first one to go.
Yeah.
He's the one who changed my mind about whether or not he was going to make it when I watched how he attacked it.
You're absolutely right. Because I think we've all had that moment where we were like, oh, shit. Like, this is like the trifecta of things going on. And I'm like, for him at his age,
73.
73. And I'm not going to disclose all of the other things that he was dealing with and still deals with. But just knowing that the chips were so stacked against him. And it was like several doctors from different specialties having to literally get together and develop a plan for him.
Yeah.
Through all of this, it definitely helps to have, for example, like my mom and my sister, my mom who's a retired nurse, my sister an active nurse, my brother in the healthcare field. So everybody bringing like their own perspective on things, being able to advocate for him. But we were so confident in the treatment plan that they had set forth for him. So that coupled with his attitude, I think helped all of us, because there was a moment, and there were several moments over the past couple months, but there was a moment in particular that stands out where DeVal and I were sitting outside, just kind of in silence, but with each other. And then my mom came outside.
Right in front.
In the front, yeah. And we just all kind of sat there for a minute, and it was like a collective cry, because we didn't want to do it in the house around Dad, because it doesn't help to have all those emotions flowing when someone's actually dealing with this. But we just didn't know how to cope. And it felt like we had moments where we individually were trying to cope without burdening the others with it. And collectively in that moment, it just kind of happened where we all just kind of let it loose and just talked about how we were going to be able to manage what the next couple weeks would look like. And I realized, I think in that conversation and even talking to DeVal consecutively after that for the next couple of days, we were so concerned about the things that were what ifs. And I found myself being so worried about like, what if we don't have dad? What if we have to explain to the kids XYZ? What if he never comes back from this? What if his quality of life is going to be so drastically changed that he's not even going to be motivated to want to get back? And I had to stop for a second. And your dad is actually the person who like gave me a big hug, because he was in town back and forth as well too. But he gave me a big hug one day when he was about to leave. And he said, 1 day at a time, 1 hour at a time. Stop stressing over the things that could potentially be, and let's deal with what's actually happening. Right. And I was like, and it was probably the way he said it too, because you know your dad, he's like a big teddy bear, and he said it with such compassion in that moment that I was like, voice,
the Deacon Troy Ellis voice.
Yes.
Poo, listen to me.
Yeah, it might have been that.
Yeah.
You know, it was the way he hugged me, and then he looked at me, and he was just like, stop worrying about what could potentially happen. Let's deal with what's actually happening. He said, you're going to stress yourself out with all of the what ifs. And I was like, you know what? That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
You know, but I think it's human nature for you to just think about all of the possible worst case scenarios as a defense mechanism to prepare yourself with what may potentially come. So that was a moment where I felt like, okay, this can be manageable.
I think it's important to tell people like how the diagnosis came and what happens when it comes to cancer. A lot of people don't know what happens. They just think, oh, you got cancer and now you're going to die. Dad went through, first he went and got, how did they discover the cancer at first? Was it
So, you know, after the stroke, it was almost, and it's almost like crazy how things happen, because he had the lump in his neck, but
the stroke saved his life.
It really did, because he had the lump in his neck, but he thought maybe it was a swollen tonsil.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of on and off for a couple months, but it started to get a bit bigger. And when he had the stroke, of course, they do an MRI and they do all these different scans, CAT scan, this, that, the third. And it was in that MRI that they realized what it was. Based on the MRI results, they were able to tell that it was likely, with a very high percentage, oral pharyngeal cancer. So at the base of the tongue that had spread to the lymph node in his neck on the left side. So that's what he was feeling.
Which, whenever you hear that a cancer is spread to the lymph node, you automatically assume death.
Yeah.
We had dealt with this before with Alcyon, where once they told us that the cancer is spread to the lymph nodes, all of the prognosis from the doctors was like, oh, there's nothing we can do. So when we had heard that Dad's cancer is spread to the lymph node, at first I was like, well, they could cut it out, but then he would have no base of his tongue. How does he eat? How does he drink? How does he speak? And then the doctor was saying like, well, he's at a point in his life now where he can't have the surgery to take it out. But he could get chemo and radiation, and they can shrink it enough to where it can disappear and go away. And I think that the doctor said that there was like a 98% chance of recovery, even though he was still stage 3. So a lot of times when people hear stage 3 cancer, they think it's a death sentence.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think it's important for us to tell this story is because Dad gave me hope for what's possible, right? 73, Dad isn't a workout warrior.
I've never seen my dad run in life.
Ever.
Like
Never
I've
sweat.
never seen my father run.
Never.
And I said to myself, wait a second. I asked my brother, I asked my sister. My father I've never seen him run.
Like not even jog?
Not even jog, I promise you.
It was an open bar at the thing we went to.
but that's the truth though. If he gonna move somewhere,
it's going to be towards the bar.
Open bar. That's a fact.
For sure.
That
but my father doesn't run. So it's funny, even dealing with some of his heart things, when he goes to the doctor and they're like, are you feeling shortness of breath? Are you feeling this? He's like, no, I'm fine. He would never be short of breath because he doesn't move fast enough to ever be short of breath, you know? So some of these things were like not the best baseline or not the best gauge, because we're like, Dad is not active. You know?
So you figure the stroke and then the heart attack, well, not the heart attack, his heart is operating at 26%, correct?
It was like 35, I think.
35%, which is like, that's 1/3 of where your heart's supposed to be operating. So in my mind, when we hear someone's going through that and they have to get chemo, which pretty much takes all of the nutrients out of you, it destroys everything. It destroys the
good
tumor,
and the bad,
but it also destroys all the good things. It's like he's supposed to be recovering from a stroke in his heart, but now we're going to put chemo. I did not think there was a way possible for him to get through this. And we did get through this. And there were things that we did extra as a family that everybody can't do.
Right.
But I do want to talk about this.
Right. And as a disclaimer too, we understand that everyone's prognosis is different.
Yes.
You know, everyone who has cancer, anyone who has cancer, I should say, things are different. Like treatments are different,
Mhm.
options are different. Because there was a point where I'm like, do we go the holistic route? Do
Right.
I, send them to Mexico to this treatment center? Like, what is it that would be the best outcome? Would garner the best outcome? But we
Right.
also wanted to charge him with the autonomy over his life and
Right.
his prognosis to
His
say this is what
decision.
I want to do. It was his decision. Yeah.
Because Kadena and I also thought about, man, at 73, if you're going, your heart is only at 1/3% and you're coming off a stroke, maybe it would be best for us not to put him through chemo and radiation if that's going to make his quality of life bad for the future. So we thought about that. But then at the same time, we were like, yo, it's not our life. It's his life. Like, there's no right or wrong answer. What you have to do is allow people to make their decisions for their life and support them
it, yeah.
1,000% so that they can feel like I did everything in my power. So ultimately, that's what we chose because Dad said, yo, I want to get radiation and chemo and get this done with.
Right. And
So
thankfully, it was 7 weeks.
7 weeks. There you go.
So 5 days radiation, one of those days chemo. So it's not like he was getting chemo every day. But the purpose of it was to try to weaken the tumor so that way it'd be easier for the radiation to kill it.
Now, there are things that I do want to talk about that I know because we did some outside stuff helped. All of the things I've read about tumors, whether it be in textbooks, whether it be online, whether it be TikTok, sunlight and sugar. Well, sugar helps tumors grow. The more sugar you eat, no matter where the tumor is, what it is, it helps the tumor grow. Sunlight and oxygen kills tumors. So for me, I told Kay, man, if there's one thing we can do with this, Pops can't drink no more. No more Cokes, no more alcohol, no more sugar in the ketchup.
Yep, dairy.
No more,
even,
we really all have to be super disciplined about cutting out the sugar, at least for 7 weeks while we go through this. That's something we're gonna do in this house. So if you look in this house now, if you look in the bars, there's no alcohol on that bar. Period. And this is the first time in 6 years that bar isn't stock full.
Actually, I didn't even realize that before. But yeah, it's empty.
None.
I realized it. I was back this morning. I was like, what happened to the bar?
Yeah,
none.
But how was that adjustment for him?
Our wine wall.
The sugar and the alcohol.
Well, at first, in the very, very beginning, it was an adjustment. Because he would come up to me and he would be like, your mother says it's alcohol. I don't think it's the drinking. Because some of my friends, they drink more than me and they don't have no stupid cancer. That's how he would talk to me. And I know he was trying to rationalize the fact that he should still have a drink. And sometimes I'd be like, man, he's 73 years old. Like, let him have a drink. But then I would look over at him and I would look at his grandkids, my kids, and be like, nah, bro. Like, now you have a responsibility to fight this the best way you can because your grandkids are watching, my kids are watching. And I'm not going to have them coming home and seeing their granddad go to chemo, go to radiation, come home and have a drink, and then get smaller and smaller.
Defeating the purpose.
Yeah. And
what also didn't help was with this particular cancer and the treatment that he got, his swallow became painful. His mouth developed sores. So just anything ingesting orally was a problem for him.
Yeah.
So after week 4 or 5, which was when they said it would start to impact him, his appetite decreased drastically. He was no longer able to eat orally. So we had to get a feeding tube for him to be able to feed him through the tube. Now that we're almost 4 weeks out of ringing the bell, he's slowly starting to get that function back. So he would try to push through it. My sister, being like that firm nurse, but also compassionate, was able to kind of coax him some days.
Tell the truth. Yo, tell the truth. Sakari is a drill sergeant. As much as I am on the boys, that's how Sakari is when it comes to medicine. And this is her dad.
Yeah.
I watched him when you was away filming, and I was watching. She was like, I don't care. You have to do this, Dad. Remember the G tube?
Yeah.
She was telling him from beginning to get the G tube.
The youngest, that's what happens.
Yeah, she was like, no, you're going to do
They've
this.
seen another side of things.
She was on top of everything.
She
like
really was.
And she was like unapologetic about the fact
she's
that
like,
you're
Dad,
not
you have
gonna
to do
like
this. She's like, do you want to be able to eat and swallow again in life? Or do you want that muscle reflex to atrophy? You're going to have to try to swallow some of this.
Oh, will it atrophy if you don't?
It will.
Yeah.
If you don't use it.
It's a muscle.
It's a muscle.
Wow.
She wasn't playing, and that's part of the thing that we need to talk about too. When someone is going through this, there has to be someone in the family who is not going to concede to that person's feelings. It's easy to concede to that person's feelings all the time because they're going through something, and you want to be empathetic to the fact that
like I was the one that was like, all right, Dad, well, like if you don't want to, it's okay. It's funny too how us 3 children dealt with it differently. My brother, is a director of mission at a nursing home. So he sees the worst of people. He sees them after falling. He sees them when they're in rehab. So Tristan was like, I don't want to see it. Complete disconnect. That's not my dad. You know how everyone reveres their father in a certain light? He's like, I don't want to see my dad like that. So at first I was just like, where's this nigga at? Like, he can't book a flight to come down here too. But then I also realized when he did finally book his flight to come, he dealt with it very differently. Yeah. Whereas Sakari was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to do all these things. And I was kind of somewhere in the middle. I was like, Dad, you know I'm here, bruh. Whatever you need, let me know. As long as it doesn't have to deal with anything squeamish, I'm good. Like, I'm not the squeamish type.
Your bottom.
Me nah wipe the bottom. Me nah do no feeding tube. But I'll be here to chill with you and put on your favorite shows, and we'll sit and we'll, at one point he wasn't talking as much.
Just so you know that is all very, very important.
Yeah.
Because even when I was helping stroke victims at Parisi, there was times that they would bring their kids and grandkids to help them want to move more. Like if a nurse came with them and was just like, nah, this one is struggling, but we brought someone with them, it'd be a pet, an emotional support animal. Like, it's not just about the medical aspect. There is a human aspect of trying to survive cancer that they all need. Right? They don't just need to go to the doctor and see medical professionals. They need family and support. I watched when people that Dad knew and loved that wasn't family come around, how he would like perk up. Then before you know it, he walking around. You haven't walked in 2 days, but now because Tribble here, you want to show Tribble something. Like, people who go through those things need that.
They do.
So, your brother coming when he did, you being able to take him to go do stuff, taking him outside to sit in the sun.
Yeah, my mom's sister, Susie.
Auntie Susie,
my favorite girl. She
Femi.
Came into town. Yep,
Femi
his
came,
nephew,
Auntie Lydia.
my dad's sister came.
His brother drove him.
My uncle Grantley. So
2 to
look
3
at
times
timing.
a week.
So my uncle was an internist here in Georgia for years. He was like the first iteration of my family to come down here. He had 3 sons with him and his wife. She's a pediatrician. He's an internist. And he just retired December 31st of 2025.
Crazy.
So literally the perfect time. And Dad started treatment on the 6th of January.
Yeah.
And that's his brother. So my uncle was able to take him to and from and care for him and also be that advocate, be that medical professional who sat with Dad, advocate for the things that he needed. At one point, Dad realized like he hated that the Benadryl was making him super drowsy on the chemo days. So my uncle was like, how about we lessen the dosage? And Dad was like, that's better, because he hated feeling so groggy. That also showed, though, that my dad is so tough, because it's like most people would probably be like, give me the Benadryl so I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, nah, give me like half the dose because I could manage this, And I was like, wow, that was just amazing to see.
The importance of having an advocate. We talk about this all the time with Black maternal health and how important it is for Black women to have an advocate when they're going through labor and delivery in the hospital. It's the same thing for anybody who's going through something like this. You need an advocate, because when you're emotionally spent from being the person to deal with this and doctors are telling you got to take this, it becomes overwhelming. And after a while, it's like, you know what, whatever y'all say, I'll do. You need someone outside of that to say, hey, my father or my mom doesn't need that, they need this.
Right.
And I think that was important for Dad, because he had a lot of advocates who had a lot of information, who were on top of everybody. And I say that because it's not good enough to just leave your loved ones with medical care professionals and say, hey, y'all figure it out. It's on us.
No, for sure.
As
and shout out to his team, like the people over at Emory Proton Therapy. It was
They were
strictly a
amazing.
center for his type of cancer. And I mean, he couldn't speak enough about how great they were to him. So shout out to his team for taking great care of him.
Yeah.
When he was winding down to the last treatment, he was like, I want to get a little something for like the nurses and the people who helped me. So went to the liquor store, shout out to our liquor store, Vintage Vine and Spirits, and just got some wine, and he was able to like distribute the bottle of wine just to say thank you to everyone for like, being there with him. And I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out the kids, man.
Facts. Come on, talk about Cairo.
Pastor Cairo.
Bro. Pastor Cairo.
Pastor Cairo and Deacon Dakota.
Deacon Dakota?
Deacon Dakota.
You'll hear why.
Deacon Dakota and Pastor Cairo, specifically them two, because it's so funny. Their personalities are so very similar. And Dakota would put on praise and worship music on YouTube. He would find like all his favorite praise and worship songs. And he'd like, Papa, I'm going to sing for you today.
Yes.
And he'd be like, praise the Lord. Lord, oh my soul. And then there's another song that Cairo liked. I think the battle belongs to you. That was another one he would play for my dad every day.
They played every day.
They like literally would come home from school and like sing for him. And Cairo had the entire school praying for my dad.
Yeah.
Wow.
In Bible class, he wrote a note. I posted it on my stories on Instagram. It might have been on my close friends, but he pretty much in the prayer was saying, you know, Lord, please heal my grandfather because I want more time with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's just been amazing to see how the kids have been using their faith to be able to envelope my dad in like the best care.
And that
I think
child
I have
shall
it.
lead
Hold on.
them. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Listen. They was downstairs.
Yep.
They didn't know I'm recording. Like they don't. This is just them without them knowing they were doing this.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
So they really were rallying. Dakota would sit next to Dad, and sometimes Dad would be watching whatever show. He used to like watch cooking shows on TV and stuff. And Dakota would be like, "Papa," he'd be like, "Yeah, you okay?"
You okay? Yeah.
And then Dad would be like, "Yeah, I'm okay. You good?" You're like, "Yeah, you good?" And it's like it's just a touch base. It's just a touch base.
Seriously.
And I really truly think that helped my dad get through. Did I tell y'all the story about when I took them to see Santa and what Santa's interaction was with Cairo? So took them to see Santa a day or two before Christmas this year. At this point, the boys knew that Dad had cancer and he was dealing with all the things. So we get to Santa's house. They each get time with Santa to sit. And of course, when Cairo goes up, Santa's like, "Hey, you know, Cairo, how are you? You know, what do you want for Christmas?" And he's just like, "I really want my grandfather to get healed from cancer." So Santa looked at him and he was just like, wow. He was like, that's really nice that you're using your Christmas wish to get your grandfather feeling better. And he's like, you know, I really believe that your grandfather's going to be okay. And then Santa reached into his pocket and took out a little figurine, and it was Jesus. And he gave it to Cairo and he said, "I'm going to give this to you today. And you keep this with yourself, or you can give it to your grandpa and just let him know that Santa's praying for him too."
Oh.
And Cairo came home and then gave Dad the little Jesus figurine and told him to keep it in his pocket when he went for treatment.
Oh.
And my dad kept it with him the whole time
That's
during
dope.
those 7 weeks.
I just have a question. Was it black or white?
I didn't want to mess up.
I just
I
wanna
did
know.
not want to mess up the story, but I was thinking, did Jesus have dreads?
Did Jesus have locks?
But if it looked like Brad Pitt, you can keep that Jesus. Like, I was thinking, I'm glad you asked me.
I gotta go and look.
To
To be honest, I didn't even look close enough at it. But
you know what I'm saying?
it was
Jesus
cute.
looking like Thor.
It was a cute.
Get this Jesus out of here.
Then you got to give all praise to the white Jesus.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Shit.
No, for real, I was thinking that.
Well, trust me, we've recently had talks with the boys about this stuff too.
That's
so
a whole nother pod. That's a whole nother pod.
Unblackening Jesus. I mean, unwhitening Jesus.
Yeah, unwhitening Jesus for real.
Facts.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother pod.
It sounds like the
we've
boys
been
ready
talking
for
to the boys
missions.
about it.
Kairos.
Well, Cairo
Oh, for
Dakota,
sure.
like when you called him Deacon Dakota, because my father's a deacon and he used to visit the sick and shut in. Dakota would come as soon as he come home from school. He come inside. "Hi, Papa. What you watching, Papa? You want me to put something else on?" I'm like, you come in here like you a caretaker, but then he changing the channel. He's rubbing Papa's head.
You put on
know what I'm saying?
TBN?
you know.
Literally.
People.
I'm just like, don't come over here with no offering plate, bro, because nobody asked you. Nobody asked you. But
The other thing was Cairo taking Pops to the hyperbaric chamber.
yeah, he did.
So we and this is also
The fact that you even invested in that for the house
you
and
see
not knowing that we would need it now.
divine intervention, right? Why things happen how? 2010, I have to study exercise physiology and work with rehab patients to finish my NASM. Stroke patients, Dad has a stroke, right? Last year, I bought a hyperbaric chamber to help us with recovery with all of the workouts and stuff we were doing. And now we find out that oxygen is the best way to get rid of tumors. So we actually have a hyperbaric chamber in our house. It's like
Pure 100%
it's like
oxygen.
things were happening and put in our place in order to help protect Dad.
Thank God.
And that's why I
What
get
a blessing.
I get real serious when it comes to like divine intervention because some of these things you say is like there's no reason why we would have that.
Right.
And like why would Uncle Grantley retire in December and then Dad start treatment January?
Literally. Yep.
You know, like that reprieve was necessary.
Yep. And my sister having flexibility with her job to be able to work from home and come down here for periods at a time to help dad.
You know? I feel you.
No, I truly 100% believe that it's all happened the way it should for dad. Like dad after this, I feel like is, bro, what's your new lease on life? Like you're here for a reason. What are you here for? What are we doing? Because we're not going back to the bottle.
Nah,
so
that's not happening.
It's like a whole lifestyle change, I think, for all of us,
and
that we can do together in support of each other.
This is the biggest thing I want to leave. This is the thing I want to leave people with. When I found out Pops had cancer, there were certain things that we did, and I want to make sure that people, whether you have cancer or not, can change your lifestyle. Right? The first thing, the very, very, very first thing is limit and cut your sugar. Right? We have become label parents. Label parents are the parents that pick something up before they put it in their pantry and they read the labels to see if there are things in those labels that are not good for them and their kids. We have become label parents.
Yeah, becoming I'm semi-crunchy mom. They call them crunchy moms when you like read all the labels and you look at all the things. Yeah, crunchy.
Yeah, you need to get your Subaru.
You know, there's a starter pack, I'm sure, for the crunchy moms. The next thing I need to do is probably homeschool the kids and start gardening and a homestead.
I'm on all of that. Getting a farm.
If you get 2 goats, 2 cows, 2 chickens, we'd be all right. You know what I'm saying? I would love to move off the grid.
Yes.
We've been talking about
get off the grid.
That is my dream, to just have a commune with people off the grid where we grow our own food. We, you know what I'm saying, make everything there.
Absolutely.
It sounds like the islands if you think about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the place for me. I know I'm supposed to be there. I'm meant to be there. I told the Val already. It's probably in our will. I gotta put the terms together, but cremate me and put half of me in Jamaica and half in St. Vincent.
Yo, it's crazy.
Or in the sea in between both.
Well, you're gonna have to tell somebody else to do it because I'm dying before you.
Absolutely.
Because there's no way you die before me, bro.
There's no way.
There's no way. The minute you die, I'm gone too. I'm gonna be like, yo, so
take me, Lord.
Take me, Lord.
You took her. Right. Like, what's we doing?
Ditto.
You better tell them kids that.
Child.
I ain't spreading you nowhere. Only thing I spread, I've been spreading. You feel me? It's the only thing I'm gonna be spreading.
Guess
true. In this life and in every life thereafter.
But, so it's no sugar. The second one is movement. We've been big on this. You have to get up and move every day. That means you have to walk continuously on an incline for 20 minutes, run,
minimum,
lift some heavy weight. But I'm really big on the lymphatic drainage.
Have y'all seen Mimi lately? Sidebar. I posted a video of Mimi with these boys doing track warm-ups and workouts. Okay,
I ain't want to say nothing, but you know,
she be
I seen one too. I seen some dude talking about something. No, real talk. Mimi can get it. I went to his page. He was 32. I'm like, dude,
God.
she's 68.
You found
she's 67. Sidebar. She'll be 68 this year. She's just like, she's 67. But no, seriously, like my mom, like I have no excuse. Like that's my genetics. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at her. She had 3 kids, not 1 stretch mark. So I'm like, thank God for that, because that's probably why I'm able to like make it. I have a couple, but you know, she's Mimi.
You don't got that
it.
many stretch marks, but I like this. They like tiger stripes.
Hey, it is what it is. At this point, I've learned to live with it. I've learned to live with it, honey. I'm like 4 kids. I didn't do too bad.
No sugar, movement, sunlight. We have to start getting out and getting in the sun. And you don't have to be in the sun for 13, 14 hours. Wake up in the morning, get you a little cup of tea, and go sit on your lawn for like 30 minutes. That's it, every day, just 30 minutes. And that leads me to my last one, is oxygen. We need oxygen. Our body thrives off of oxygen, and because of pollution and because we spend so much time inside the house, we don't get the type of sunlight and oxygen our body needs to thrive. So if you think about that, just fighting cancer and trying to fight tumors, if you limit sugar, if you move, you get outside, you limit dairy, and you get some sun and oxygen, you give yourself a better chance of not getting a tumor, or if you have one, shrinking it on its own. So for me, you know, part of the reason why I wore this shirt is because fuck cancer and fuck them tumors. I'm not going to wait until I get one to start living my life like I want to get rid of them. I'm going to live my life now that way, so that if one comes, I'll be prepared for it, you know, because you don't know what, God forbid, but you don't know what, you know, what world has, what life has in store for you.
And the fact that they're trying to kill us anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you on
the
that.
Food, the air, it's just in everything. The water, it's
absolutely.
We just try to control the things that we can control. And again, everyone's journey is different. We're not saying, we don't profess to know everything. We're simply just sharing what the resources that we've used and we have to just to help combat things, you know, and to help with the process of dad now, for example, done with treatment, getting better every single day. And I mean, he wanted to get up the other day and cook some pilau.
He did cook some pilau.
Y'all know I joked about Dad always making pilau in this house. We have not had pilau in like 3 months, okay? And he's been watching, shout out to Jamaica Food Boss. I hit him up. Yeah, I hit him up because we were supposed to link up with him and have a excursion like 2 years ago, and then we ended up not being able to do it. But Dad's been enjoying watching his show.
Go back.
So
you hit up the Jamaican Food Boss?
Yeah.
Let me explain something to y'all about my wife, right?
What?
Jackson in 2020 was a big Bronny James fan.
Contacted.
Because Bronny was making his way through AAU and doing his thing.
Oh, and we lived in LA at the time.
We lived in LA, and Kay says, guess what? I said, what? Look at this. It's a happy birthday video from Bronny to Jackson.
And Miss Jamaica,
wow.
Tony Ann Sing.
And I'm like what? Yes.
Yeah, remember? Because it was a COVID birthday, so we couldn't do anything. It was that April.
We get all that.
Give yourself credit.
How you just reach out to LeBron and Savannah and be like, hey, is Bronny available to get us? Like, who does that? Like,
And she
like
was so sweet about Savannah. I think that's when we started kind of like talking randomly, and she's like, absolutely, I would love to like help make Jackson's birthday special.
You have a gift for people, for people to just be accepting to you reaching out to them, because I'm pretty sure she probably gets the same DM from thousands of people every day.
Probably.
Think about it.
This is a
Can
minute
you
ago.
do me a favor? Can you contact Leica from that?
Look.
Can you contact Leica from
Alrighty, let me know. Let me see how I can finesse all these things. You know,
I guarantee you, she knows somebody, and she gonna come back like,
yeah, because I sent a DM to Michelle Buteau the other day. Me and my stepmom are gonna see.
Oh, I love her music. I want to go see her. Yes.
So I reached out to her like, hey, it's my stepmom's first outing since my dad died, but I don't have the Kadeem gene.
Oh man, I'm gonna do it. The
Kadeem gene.
Just call me the DM slider.
You got Pops a message recently too.
Yeah.
I got. Oh my God, y'all! Yes, thank you for reminding me, Matt. I got Dad's favorite wrestler. So let me tell y'all, my father don't like nothing really.
I know
he really
why he
don't
likes
like
this
nothing.
one. Where your phone?
Same.
He don't like much of anything.
know what
You know
he
what I'm
do
saying?
like.
But he loves wrestling. That's actually been a thing since I was a kid. Like we would watch wrestling and stuff together. So the boys already know Monday Night Raw comes on. All
Your
that
dad
they have
watched
to
wrestling
make
from
sure.
that young?
Yeah, since I was a kid. That's how I knew about WWF. All of the wrestlers, Macho Man Randy Savage, all of them, Undertaker.
That's
like
so
we really
funny.
used to watch it.
playing no My Little Pony in here. WWE.
But that's how he be sounding. So shout out to Bianca Belair, his absolute favorite wrestler. So me and Matt went with him to a WWE show that she had given us tickets for because she knew that Dad was a huge fan
She
of hers.
good people, yo.
Yeah,
Her
just
and her
really
husband,
sweet.
yo.
Her husband. And I forget how, but did I reach out to her? I think I did reach out
You
to her. That's probably
probably
another
did.
DM slide. It was like, hey girl, my dad loves the show. Like I would love to bring him in. And she
See?
got us tickets. Got to take him backstage to meet her after. So I reached out to her because as he's of course going through all his treatment, the one thing he was watching was Jamaica Food Boss and wrestling. So I hit her up and it turns out she's been on a hiatus as well because she had to have surgery. But she sent him a message, a video one.
Hey Pops, it is Bianca Belair, the EST of WWE. I just want to make a video for you because I know you've been going through some things. I want you to know that you've been in my mind. We've been praying for you over here. We've been sending so many prayers up for you. I want you to know that you are the toughest and you're going to get through this. And when you get better, we're going to get you to a show.
There we go.
There you go.
So sweet of her. So thank you, Bianca. That meant everything to him. He was talking back to you in the video, girl. He thought it was a FaceTime, honey. But he was so happy.
I'm going to say this. When I was growing up, they didn't make female wrestlers like that.
Facts.
We had China. Y'all remember that? He was the only one. And she fought the men.
China.
Remember, she was whooping
She was
ass
like
too.
6'7", 6'8". Like she was super tall and just big.
Yeah, no, not no more. So now what they're doing is these women are athletes. They're volleyball players, track stars. Like they're real athletes. They be jumping and flipping off the thing.
Oh, I see them.
And they look great doing
Good
it.
girl.
Shout out to the WWE. I like the little switch y'all did that. Shout out for keeping my dad entertained and happy.
Yes,
he watches every single day.
Yes. Yeah, he know Monday is live on Netflix. So he'd be like, okay.
And Dakota put it on for him
He
too.
sure does.
Yeah.
Dakota be like, Netflix. WWE Monday Night Raw.
He sounds just like that too. Oh
my gosh. It is so funny. And shout out to Matt, man. Matt has literally been here with us day in and day out through all of this. And I thought about it when I went upstairs because we talked about the episode of, us coming back. But Matt has been like a staple and like stationary in the house too. And you bring like a sense of just like evenness and calm because we all be kind of, there's a lot of personalities in this house. Yeah, and you've been through it
twice.
Yeah.
True.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, my mom had cancer, my dad had cancer. So I know the ups and the downs of it. So I just try to be there for y'all.
No, you was there because remember
that,
the days
man.
I came in, I expressed to Kay upstairs. I said, everything that I'm about to say to you about what I thought about Dad, the only person I could tell honestly was Matt, because I didn't want to say to anybody else that I didn't know how this was going to turn out. But since he had been through it, I felt like he could empathize, and he would come here. We would sit down there, shoot our pool. You know what I'm saying? On days when you were filming, and it was just me in the house, he would come by and be like, "Yo, you good?" And I'd be like, "Some days is better than the others," but having somebody there to kind of take your mind off of it helps a lot. You know, like, appreciate you for that, bro.
Anytime.
That's been great. All right.
So let's take a quick break.
Yeah, let's do that. We have a listener letter today. First one back.
We do?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it.
I think we do. All right, y'all. Stick around. We'll be right back after we pay these bills, because that's one thing that keeps going, honey, is a bill.
Facts.
Period.
So before y'all get on me, be like, "Where that boy helmet?" We learning on grass with no helmet. So if he fall on the grass. Let's get money. All the brothers, man, we locked in, baby. Yeah. Watch it, look. Why'd I push you? To prove to you that you can do what? You can always put your foot down if you're gonna fall, right? So back to my dad truck. This is an all-purpose truck. Anytime we go to do stuff, I just throw stuff in the back of the truck. Yo, stop bailing. Every time it turns, you stop and put your feet down. You're gonna fall. Going fast is easier. There we go. There we go.
The gear the entire time has been on 5.
You owe Kaz an apology.
The highest level is 7 and the lowest level is 1. So he's been riding on 5 out of 7 difficulties.
Look at Daddy and say, "You owe me an apology, bro."
You owe me an apology, bro.
All right, and we're back. We're going to dive into our listener letter of the day. Well, we have 2, but one, let's see what this one says. Hey, Deval and Kadeen, Tribble, Matt, and Josh as well. Hope it's okay that I'm reaching out. You don't know me, of course, but I've listened to Ellis Ever After, Deadass, for a few years, and lately I've realized that your family helped me through one of the most difficult seasons of my life without ever knowing it. When my mom was diagnosed with dementia and my father had a stroke that left him paralyzed on his left side, I made the decision to move both of my parents into my home. At the time, I was raising 3 kids, going through a divorce, and eventually left my job so I can care for them. It was one of the hardest and most exhausting seasons of my life. There were days I questioned whether I was even strong enough to carry it all, but listening to your podcast and watching the way your family loved and cared for Kadeen's parents gave me something I didn't even realize I needed. Reassurance that what I was doing mattered.
Mm-hmm.
You normalize something that can feel incredibly lonely, caring for the people who once cared for us. During that time when the days were long and heavy, your family's honesty and love quietly reminded me to keep going. Wow. Both of my parents have now passed away. My mom, November of 2025, and my father, February of 2026. That's so recent. Back to back like that. Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that.
That doesn't surprise me. Remember what I just said to you? If you ever go,
people typically go
with people who've been together. The Notebook. You made me watch that movie and cry in 2004.
I sure did.
My big football ass in freaking 1428. No, where were we?
We were in
Nassau, Suffolk.
Yeah.
Nassau, Suffolk. I'm crying because they hands was together when they did. Go ahead, finish the letter, man.
I know. Lately, I've been doing a lot of reflecting. Grief has a way of making you look back and realize how many people have helped hold you up along the way, even if they never knew it. Your family is one of those people for me. Losing them has been incredibly hard, but one thing that gives me comfort now is knowing I was able to walk that journey with them all the way to the end. Caring for them changed me in ways I'm still discovering. Looking back, I realized that the strength to keep showing up on the hardest days was often fueled by seeing families like yours doing the same thing with love and grace.
Wow, that's what's up.
That was really sweet.
I appreciate that.
My deepest sympathy to you, though. Like, moving your parents and then losing them back to back like that is probably so incredibly difficult. But I'm happy that you got
divorce,
right
and raising
kids and quitting your job to have to take care of them. But what I will say is something you may feel is at least you were there for those moments with them, you know, at the end. Almost like Tribble, like you said, like your dad being in your apartment. It's like, okay, him passing away in your apartment, of course, is like something you would never want to happen. But the fact that you had that time with him, even though it was like a short weekend at the very end, you know, I feel comfort knowing that my parents are close by and they're here with us, you know, that we are able to take care of them.
I would also say, too, it would feel good for me to have my parents pass in my presence, or at least know that they're not passing alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the fact that your parents stay here, the fact that my parents still have each other, if something were to happen, like Tribble said the last episode, imagine your stepmom goes home and finds your dad alone.
Yeah.
You know, Tribble was here to even console her stepmom and then be there to see the final moments of her dad. Having everyone around when something like this happens definitely matters.
Yeah.
You know?
And I kind of struggle, like my brother, sister, and I spoke about like how much to divulge about dad, you know, because people's health and their things they're going through can be a private matter for a lot of people that they don't want to speak about publicly. But we do feel like we also have a testimony, like something that we can share to give people hope. You know, we did wait until dad was finished with the treatment plan and all of that to kind of see, you know, what his prognosis would look like. But thank you for confirming to me the decision that we made to share about dad's story, because we hope that it's one of hope and resilience for other families, like you said, explained here. So we appreciate that and sending lots of love to you. Thank you for your support and for listening all these years.
For real.
That's dope.
I do also want to point out that this is why we do share. Some of the information we gave could have helped save a life. Some of the information we got from other people that shared did save lives. So this is the reason why humanity is important and why telling stories are important.
Absolutely.
Because you may save a life. Or even if you don't save a life, letting someone else know that their life matters while living it and feeling like you don't. You
That's
know?
a fact. All right.
So let me go to number 2.
One more for the day. Take us out, baby.
Dear DeVal and Kadeen, I've been with my partner for 9 years, and we are newly engaged. Congratulations. Over the last 2 years of our relationship, while I was pregnant with our son, I found out he had been unfaithful, and I'm still trying to make sense of everything that came with that. 6 months before I became pregnant with our son, we lost our daughter when I was 6 months pregnant. It was traumatic. It was a traumatic delivery that landed me in the ICU. That loss broke me in ways I didn't even understand at the time. I was dealing with postpartum depression without even knowing how to name it. In my Jamaican household, when you say you're depressed, you're told to pray or read your Bible. So I carried a lot of that pain in silence. I don't think either of us knew how to handle that kind of grief or how to be there for each other. Instead of healing together, we drifted apart in our own pain. That typically happens. During that time, I got involved with someone he worked with. During that time, he got involved with someone he worked with. He never told me. I found out on my own. That intuition don't lie. And when I confronted him about it, he admitted it. The betrayal on top of losing my daughter and everything I was already carrying was overwhelming. To his credit, he has done everything he needed to do to make things right, including no longer working with the other person involved. He has put in the work. 2 years later, after counseling and therapy, he proposed. And I said yes, because the truth is I love him. I want my family, but I'm also torn. I'm a Libra. I'm big on loyalty, and sometimes, even after all the work, I still feel so hurt and angry that I want to tear everything up all over again. I know I will never fully heal from the grief of losing my daughter, but I find that the grief of the betrayal lingers alongside it, and sometimes they feel tied together. Question is, how do you know if I'm holding on to something worth fighting for or ignoring a truth people always say, that when someone cheats, they'll always cheat and give back the ring? Or do I stay and continue the hard work of healing, even knowing I may never fully trust him again and that my grief may never fully go away? I would truly appreciate any guidance or perspective you can offer.
Wow.
See, this
Very
to me is very layered. Number one, it starts with the grief, right? Like it's whenever you have grief and the grief is tied to something, it's hard to get rid of that. I see that with a lot of people, even if sometimes it's not infidelity. Sometimes the grief may be tied to an event or a job. And it's like, I can't go back there because that reminds me of the grief. That takes work. And there's no time limit or timetable on when you should be over that or what it should look like. What I think is, one thing you did say was that he has been putting the work to make things right, which means you know you have a person who cares enough to do things for you and make changes.
And he made a poor choice, but he admitted it. Right,
he never
Too.
lied.
He didn't lie about it.
And he also made changes in his life so that's like, yo, I'm going to make sure you feel comfortable. I don't work with that person anymore. With all that being said, if you feel like you can't get over it, you have to do more work in order to try to live with that person, but you can't just carry that with them. Because what happens is when you have that regret or you have that pain, you tend to bring it up over time. And now it becomes the other person says, well, how long are you going to hold this over my head?
Right.
So realistically, I think you should have some conversations with yourself, right? I know the Jamaicans, they're going to tell you to pray and read your Bible, but the only person that can give you the answer of whether you should walk away is you and God.
Yeah.
So you need to talk to yourself and say, do I really feel comfortable in this situation to continue forward? And if you do, you work with it. But if you don't feel comfortable and you're like, I can never get over this and it's haunting me, it might be okay to take a break or get some space. But only you know. Like we can't give you that answer. You got to listen to yourself.
I wonder if you seek any kind of therapy. Again, like knowing how Caribbean households are, a lot of them don't believe in like things like therapy, but it actually can be helpful to help you navigate your thoughts and see why it is that you're holding on, particularly to the grief associated with the infidelity, not necessarily with your daughter. Those are two separate entities I think need to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Like losing a child, no one can ever, like, what do we say? There's no word
There's no word. Like
for a parent who loses a child. Like if you lose a spouse, you're like a widow or widower.
If you lose a parent, you're an orphan.
But there's like no word for the loss.
And
of
that's
a child.
why it's hard for me to even tell her how she's supposed to feel.
Yeah.
I can't imagine trying to tell someone how to feel about something that I can't even imagine going through and telling them, hey, that person worked hard enough, get over it. I can't even feel comfortable saying that.
Right.
But I will say, like, if you've seen him take the strides to be better and do better, it's worth trying. And if
I know
you try.
What people say, because she had said, people always say, once a cheater, always a cheater. Like that doesn't have to be his truth or your truth
That's
either.
A fact.
Like
people
we
will
don't
project their own truth on you.
And what we don't do is listen to what people say over
at
here.
all.
So
and also know people will tell you to walk away from your love while holding on to their love that does way more toxic shit than your love ever did. So
or they
I
don't even have a love
nobody.
to talk about.
Facts.
So yeah, I hope you guys are able to work through that. I don't think all is lost. It probably just requires a little bit more work and more time, on both parts.
And I'm interested to have, this is why I wish sometimes I listen to letters with two people, because I would want to hear what his perspective is on it.
Right.
Because for you to cheat and then admit immediately and then make changes, you can tell that that's something he didn't really want to do. And as much as we give people space to grieve, cheating is never a value, like a justification for, grief is why I cheated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But also you can't discount why someone grieves. I would want to know, like, why did it get to that?
Right.
If y'all were both grieving together, did y'all shut each other out? Did y'all shut each other down? Like, why was cheating what you went to? And if I could understand why he went to that, maybe we could explain to them a little bit more.
Because she did say they kind of like, it forced them apart and they were both dealing with it separately.
Yeah.
I even think about us. Like we didn't deal with anything in this magnitude, but just even dealing with stuff with dad.
Oh, no, we were
or me losing
apart.
Alcyon, my cousin passing from cancer, my other cousin passing from, like I had so many deaths recently in my family that I was processing things in a certain way that you could have taken as me shutting you out.
I felt distant. We felt distant.
We definitely felt distant because it's like we're both battling our own sets of emotions, in different ways and different capacities.
And I could easily say it doesn't justify it, but I could see 25-year-old, 28-year-old DeVal seeing you go through all of this grief and kind of shutting me out and being distant and getting upset. And then feeling like, who's there for me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was easier for me to deal now at 42 because I've lived life a little bit and I've matured. But the same person at 28, I probably would have moved differently. And I can openly and honestly say that.
Right, for sure. Both of us would have moved differently, I'm sure. Yeah. So hopefully you can touch base with us and let us know when you get to the other side of things, how things have gotten better for you, because we're always going to want the best for you guys, right?
Facts.
Love that. All right. And if you know what's best for you, it's about time to start writing back into the listener letters. We want to hear from you guys. We love to give our 2 cents on all things happening in your life. So be sure to email us at theellisadvice@gmail.com.
That's right. That's TheEllisadvice@gmail.com.
All righty. Time for our moment of truth. We're talking fuck cancer and everything associated with it, honey.
Facts.
Man.
I say fuck cancer from the beginning. This is my moment of truth. It ain't fuck cancer after someone gets cancer. It has to be fuck cancer before that. So let's do everything to prevent it. We're not eating no more processed foods, no more drinks with too much sugar, no more staying inside on these phones with these laptops and shit. Fuck cancer, fuck all of that. Let's really focus on getting back outside and doing the things that we were doing before cancer rates were so high. Let's get outside in the sun. Let's move. Let's commune as people. Let's get off these devices and stop. Anything that happens in your life quickly, it's probably to your detriment. So if it's an easy thing to eat, an easy thing to fix, if you're still using the microwave and still using quick fixes, more than likely cancer is going to come with that.
My favorite thing to do, sidebar, when you mentioned the microwave, to heat food up now, is to get a pan, like a big pan. I put upside down like a small, like little, like one of those
like
charcuterie, like those shot glass or something, with some water at the base of the pot, and then let it boil up, and then you put the plate on top of the shot glass and you cover it. So it's like it steams your food.
Steams the food, yeah.
Food tastes so much better.
It does.
So we are slowly like getting rid of the microwave usage
You're
in
not
the house
nuking your
too.
food anymore?
Not
No,
nuking our
we're not
food
nuking our
anymore.
food
No,
anymore,
we're like,
bro.
and even just like the amounts of leftovers, it's like we're not even doing that. Like, because food tends to lose its nutritional value anyway when you reheat it. So we're just trying to like cook what we need in this moment. Also, we're waiting for Dad to get better so he can actually start eating the leftovers, because we realize like, why are all the leftovers still in the fridge? That's because Dad hasn't been eating it. So we're just like, why is there so much leftovers lately? And I'm just like, okay, because Dad's not here to munch on it.
Don't worry, I'll go upstairs and get some to eat.
There you go, Matt. There you go. Perfect.
Also, overeating is a thing in America, bro. Just eating because you want, just eating, like overconsumption, bro.
I told y'all about breakfast, lunch, and dinner and where that came from.
Drink more water, more coconut waters, drink more teas, eat more berries, more grains. Don't like
if you're sugar high, be careful with coconut water, by the way.
True, coconut water is sugar,
Yes, coconut
if
water.
If you're sugar high, you're such a West Indian.
Even the teas, I realized I saw that there's microplastics that's released in the tea bags, man.
So I stopped doing tea bags. You see, I brewed the actual leaf.
She used the leaf in the actual pot
as well.
to make mullein leaf.
And then
Like
you can strain it.
Bush lady.
Bush,
She a bush
come in the
lady,
bush,
she a bush
gal.
lady. She a bush gal,
Bush gal, me day.
As long as you shave your bush, we good.
That was lasered years ago. I don't have those
Zach is
problems
back.
Zach is back, baby. The Zach attack.
Bruh.
All roads lead to the bush. Sorry, I couldn't. I had to go ahead.
Right.
Fuck cancer. Fuck cancer. That's
that
where
part.
we at.
That's your moment of truth. My moment of truth. You know what? Shout out to the caretakers and the caregivers. Shout out to the people who sometimes feel like the unsung heroes in this whole thing. Shout out to my mom for many thankless days and nights, tending to Dad. And, sometimes she would feel like, damn, like, sometimes I don't even get to thank you or please. And I'm like, girl, he's going through the motions. I know he means nothing by it. You can tell he was in a state of depression as well, too, at one point. So shout out to the people who are taking care of those who need to be taken care of, and just make sure that you're getting someone to take care of you too and take care of yourself.
I forgot one thing that was very, very important: hydration. We made sure that when Dad got to the end of those weeks, we got him IV bags. The end of those weeks.
Yeah, my sister was giving him IV.
A lot of people suffer. The feelings come from dehydration, the fatigue, the tiredness. Giving IV bags once a week during that process was really good. I don't want to forget that part, because that is very, very important for keeping people healthy, especially elderly people or young people.
Right.
Young people who have fevers for a long time. If they look sluggish, get them an IV bag.
Yeah.
It'll just help them. We did that with Cairo.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So.
That's been. I got it for DeVal when I left town with the kids to make sure he was okay.
That.
Yeah.
Needed that.
Because he don't eat if you're not here.
Y'all seen the video. I accidentally don't eat.
Yeah.
Lost 7 pounds in a day. Thought I was going to die. It's not funny though. Thought I was going to die.
Moment of truth, y'all. What you got?
Everything happens for a reason. I remember when my mom, years ago, she ended up getting fired from her job because of downsizing and stuff. And then a couple months later, she was available to take my dad and care for him when he got sick. Then before she got sick, I worked for myself, but jobs started becoming less and less. It was like more so on the weekends, only doing weddings and stuff. But I was able to take care of her. So everything happens for a reason. So keep that in mind as,
I like that.
as things happen.
Divine intervention.
Very true. What up, Josh?
I got a few moments of truth today.
I like that for us.
He got the glasses on.
I just realized you and Matt have the same hat, but different cities.
Yeah.
Fire.
I got that one too.
You do too?
Gang.
Okay.
Shout out to the warriors who are dealing with it. It's not easy. I mean, I don't know personally, but I can't imagine it being easy for them dealing with their sicknesses and then being vocal about it and having to struggle with that and continuing life and being normal people. So shout out to those people who are dealing with all sorts of cancers and struggles. A scripture that the Bible says is we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony, by our testimony. So keep talking about it. Keep talking about and keep sharing about what you're dealing with, so that people can understand what people are dealing with these diseases.
Yeah.
Getting checks and checkups. And also, like what you said, DeBell, like there are a lot of things that we're consuming that are aiding and fueling the rise of cancer in general. So, just keep talking about it. That's my moment of truth. I did want to talk about that commune tribble as well. I really think it's a really good idea to sort of like, let's live off the land.
I agree.
Yeah, man.
I agree.
I mean, my wife and I watched this documentary 2 nights ago called Poisoned on Netflix. And it was just talking about like E. coli and salmonella and how it actually gets in our food. And it's crazy. Like, there's no reason why leafy greens should have E. coli in it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
why?
It makes no sense. So I am all for living in a commune. I don't know if I'm going to have Timothy De La Ghetto as our...
Timothy De La Ghetto.
What's his name? Raphael De La Ghetto.
Triple, get his ass, Triple. I know you got something. I know you got something for you.
Catching strays.
Yeah, you know what? I had mad comments during the podcast, but me and Matt was over there cracking up. Yeah, that's my moment of truth, man.
I love that.
Yo, all I know is he called you Timothy De La Ghetto.
It's Raphael, number one.
It's Raphael.
That's why it's funny to me. Timothy,
I'm like, who's a new person?
Gentlemen to the right of them, folly and thunder.
I do want to start a cult, and the commune is kind of my way in. So
That's why we
there
were laughing.
We go. It will be named the De La Ghetto.
Yes. That sounds
De La Ghetto.
She is De La Ghetto.
De La Ghetto.
That's the name of your subdivision,
It's
Tribble.
very inclusive of all cultures.
De La Ghetto.
De La Ghetto.
To have that though, you have to be with people you fuck with, because not everybody coming to my compound. I'm
And
sorry.
there's a straight separation of male and females in there.
Yeah.
And dudes only get to come out when they gotta pick stuff up.
You gotta come use this hammer, come
Tribble's
build
the
something.
highest.
Period.
From what's the show?
Ruthless.
From Ruthless. You the highest roofs. You have a robe on.
Yeah.
None of you niggas is allowed.
I'm about to get my robe.
All you bitches can come right on in.
Cannons to the right of you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Niggas to the right.
Bitches to the left. Twerking and thunder. No. We're going too far. It's going too far. It's going too far. What's your
To be a
moment?
millennial. What a time to be alive.
What is my moment of truth? It's so, cancer is something that's can be really hard to deal with. My dad also had cancer, but he survived cancer, which I thought was crazy.
Amazing.
I thought he was going to die, but he didn't even have to do radiation. So I was like, well, maybe he's never going to die because...
Your dad had cancer too? What kind of cancer?
Yeah, he had prostate cancer.
Wow.
He had to have surgery, and he was fine after that. And then he also, like, in the 90s, he got in a crash, a head-on collision with a semi-truck. Didn't die then. He came to Atlanta for one day. He couldn't survive that
Atlanta
shit.
killed him. Atlanta, fuck him.
I was like,
see Atlanta?
God damn.
You should have took him to Magic City night at the Hawks game.
Oh,
He'd have definitely been alive.
He made it.
They canceled that, man.
You know, people were saying they wasn't going to...
but they still did it.
They still did it.
Yeah.
You saw it.
They did?
Yeah, they still did it.
Yeah.
T.I. performed, right?
Yeah.
T.I. performed.
Okay.
I guess they didn't have the strippers, though.
But they were never
They just
going to
didn't
have
have the
strippers.
name. They didn't have the name. Like, they just took the name off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they never planned on having the strippers there.
No.
So
I
then why
thought
call it
it was
Magic
been-
City night?
It was
Everybody's
just a
up in
collab.
arms.
Like,
It was
That
the wings,
part.
for
I
the
think.
culture. Yeah, the wings. Because
Oh,
Magic
we
City
wanna
has
get
the
the
best
wings.
wings in the city, apparently.
Don't cancel the wings.
So why
now.
didn't call it Magic City Wing Night or something?
It was
Like,
Lemon Pepper Lou Wings.
Yeah.
He
That's
played
what-
for the Hawks. It made sense.
No, whoever came up with the marketing strategy for that dropped the ball.
But I feel like this wasn't the first time they did it, was it?
I don't know.
Somebody was just hating.
Yeah.
And they was hating.
Giving op or no op.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. I don't know his name though.
So I do appreciate hearing like how everybody's been using their own strengths to help Pops, because it's like you don't know, what can you do, but you can do something.
And he definitely asked about Tribby, because when he heard your father pass, he was
Yeah.
like, how's Tribby doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tribby.
I love Pops. I love seeing him. So I'm glad that he's on the up and up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
for
hopefully
sure.
everybody can continue to help him thrive
Indeed.
through
Indeed.
the rest.
Can't wait to take him back home. That's the next thing he's looking forward to. So
Yeah, you want to take
I'm
him
gonna
to
drop him
St.
off in
Vincent.
St. Vincent for a couple weeks to get better.
Can I come?
Yeah, of course. Of course. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to our Patreon gang who always rocks with us heavy. If you want to see exclusive content, y'all, and you're not part of Patreon, what are you doing? Like, seriously, what are you doing? Be sure to join us on Patreon. You can find me at KadeenIam.
And you can find the Patreon at Ellis Ever After. And I am DeVal.
I'm at ellisphoto.com.
And I am Joshua_Dwayne.
And I'm at Tribs the Cool, TRIBBZ the Cool on everything.
And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. The end of this episode got random, so that's why I went with the random, like, deep voice. Because it just seemed like I was supposed to do that at the time.
Maybe.
Just random.
Sidebar, you look really good. Like your face,
You
your
do
skin,
too.
your eyes, everything is like, wow.
You do too. There's a lot of things that look good, but I'm not going to describe them to everybody.
Why, thank you. See, we're doing it together, y'all. Trying to age backwards, period. That's the hashtag.
Deadass.
Cut! Ellis Ever After is an iHeartMedia podcast. It's hosted by Kadeen and DeVal Ellis. It's produced by Tribble. Video production by Joshua Dwayne and Matthew Ellis. Video editing by LaShawn Rowe.